Hey everybody, welcome to Your Beautiful Table, a YouTube channel and a website all about helping you make your tables beautiful. And today I'm going to talk about the very best antique and consignment shops in Charlotte, North Carolina, so stay tuned. Thanks everybody for coming on back. If you're new to the channel, Your Beautiful Table is a website all about helping you make your tables look great. And so we talk about china, glassware, silverware, tabletop decor, table linens, those kinds of things. So if that's of interest to you, consider subscribing. Click the little box below. So friends, I'm going to share with you all the top antique and consignment shops in Charlotte, North Carolina in this short video, but I have written a comprehensive guide about the very best antique and consignment shops in Charlotte, and you can find more information in the description box below. So look on down there, click on the link, and it will take you to a comprehensive blog post about these shops that I'm going to talk about in the video and more, and tell you why I love them and what you might be able to find there. So I'm not going to share all the details with you here just to keep it concise, but link down below for more information. It's a great resource. So I've got behind me two of my very favorite finds, which are two Mataheta Blue Canton ginger jars. They were super fine. So you can find tabletop, home decor, those kinds of items at consignment and antique stores for less than retail. So hopefully you'll get some good hints. So I made some notes. I wanted to start with my very favorite one, and that is Hamilton Stewart. So I feel a little bad about giving you all my secrets, but Hamilton Stewart is a consignment and antique store on Park Road in Charlotte, and they have a ton of volume and inventory. I mean, that place is jam-packed. I'll put a photo in the video right about now. There is some limited parking in the front of the store. There's more parking around back. You'll pass by it if you're not paying attention. It has sort of a black awning and you'll zip right by. So if you're familiar with Park Road Shopping Center, it is actually in a little strip of a building across the street from Park Road Shopping Center, sort of on the Harris Teeter end of that shopping center. It's been a great resource for me. You can find furniture there, you can find upholstered items, you can find art, you can find mirrors, you can find a lot of small items like china and silverware, glassware, those kinds of things. So they have a great collection of export blue and white china. There's a whole shelf of majolica. They have a ton of Amari porcelain, if that's floating your boat. The great thing about Hamilton Stewart is their prices are totally reasonable, and much of their items, or many of their items, are on consignment. And consignment means that they go with the list price, and then after a particular time period, the price decreases. And at Hamilton Stewart, the tag is listed with when the item will be reduced in price. So some consignment shops don't list that. They just assume that if you're there and you want to know more about it, you can ask them. But at Hamilton Stewart, they're like moving that inventory, and they list those price breaks on many of their tags. Now, some of them are fixed price. Those are more antiques. And so you can just talk to them about how long the piece has been there and see if you can get a great deal. So there's a lot of inventory volume and flow through that, through Hamilton Stewart. And so I would shop there just about every weekend. I'd pop in, see what's new. It's a great resource. Patrick, the proprietor and owner there, is really helpful. And so Hamilton Stewart, can't speak about that store highly enough. It's a great resource, and folks in Charlotte are lucky that it's there. Now, moving across the street to Park Road Shopping Center, around in the back lot of Park Road Shopping Center, sort of around on the back side, is a store called Classic Attic. And Classic Attic is also a consignment shop. And in the past, Classic Attic was more focused on traditional furniture, but it's had a change in ownership, and the new owner has broadened the scope of the inventory at Classic Attic. And Classic Attic now features, things from traditional to contemporary to mid-century modern. So check if you have like different kinds of decor. Check it out. That's where I found these Mataheta Blue Canton jars. So I walked in, saw them, was ready to make a move. And that's one of the tips about shopping consignment and antiques is consignment. If you like it, there's probably somebody else who likes it, and so you want to be ready to buy. If you wait and you think, okay, well, this price point is going to come down, you might miss it. I mean, that's the thrill of the hunt. But if you see something you really love and you know the value of it in your mind, you need to be ready to make a move because somebody else is going to do that for you. Now, both Hamilton Stewart and Classic Attic will allow you to take things on approval. You'll just need to talk to them so that way you can check out the size and whether or not it's going to fit in your home. So these blue Canton, I didn't have to think about it twice. I went ahead and made the move. Classic Attic not only has large pieces of furniture, but they have a lot of small items. Recently, I saw a complete heron Chinese bouquet in green, a whole table set that was there, or like several place settings. And so it's a great spot if you're looking for tableware, china, those kinds of things to add to your collection, or to maybe start a new collection, or to mix things up for mix and match. So Classic Attic is great. There's a lot of parking nearby. There's a ramp that you can get up to Classic Attic, although sometimes they have lots of furniture there, so the access is okay. There's some small steps. The parking is right there. Now, shifting to a real antique store is a place that's relatively new to the Charlotte antique and consignment scene, which is called H&S Antiques. And H&S Antiques is across town, more on the east side of Charlotte on Monroe Road. It's near the intersection of Wendover and Monroe, for those of you who are familiar with Charlotte. And H&S Antiques is in sort of a nondescript, it almost looks like a warehouse building, but it's bright red. So if you're over there looking for it, you can check out the red building. The sign is a little bit hard to read from the road, but once you know where it is, you'll be able to find it. It was in the H&S Lumber building, and so they've kept the H&S part of the name, and now it's just H&S Antiques, and it's on the front side. There's parking right in front of the building, and there's a ramp so you can access it easily and also roll your purchases out. H&S Antiques is run by a gentleman named John, and you will find highbrow French, Italian, and sort of continental antiques. It is really a fun addition to the Charlotte antique scene. It's not consignment, but rather antiques. And so you'll find a price on those items. And John goes to the High Point Antique Show and travels to other places. So you're going to get a really nice, it's just fun to go in there. His collection of Majolica and Chinese export in blue and white is phenomenal. It's worth just going in there to see. Lots of tabletop decor, including like porcupine quill boxes, silver boxes, a lot of other like things to help create tablescapes. So wonderful place to go check out. And he does a phenomenal job with vignettes. And so you can see how he's styled a particular room. There's lots of little rooms inside of H&S Antiques. And so it's fun to go in there and just explore. John has a holiday open house, which is a lot of fun. And in the recent past, he had James Farmer. Those of you who are follow interior design will know that James Farmer is a pretty famous interior designer based in Perry, Georgia. James was there signing his book, A Place to Call Home. So a lot of fun energy around H&S Antiques. Now, a classic, for those of you who are in Charlotte, you all will know any list of Charlotte antique stores would be incomplete without listing Sleepy Poet. Now, Sleepy Poet is a huge warehouse of vendors, and so there are lots of vendors in Sleepy Poet, and so you can find all kinds of what I would call like more vintage items than true antiques. Now, there are some true antiques in there, and there are lots of collectibles. So Sleepy Poet is on South Boulevard. When I moved to Charlotte in 2007, they were near the old Queen Park lanes, and I think it was like a movie theater, long since torn down, but they moved on down, but they've been in the same spot for a long time. Lots and lots of vendors. You've got aisles and aisles. You can spend hours in there. So no matter what you collect in terms of tabletop decor, from high-end china, they have heron figurines, they have silver plate and crystal items, to more pottery, those kinds of things. So no matter what you collect, you can find some of it at Sleepy Poet for sure. Now, Sleepy Poet is a lot of different vendors, and so you'll need to work with them if you find something that you like and you want to make an offer. What I found is that most items over $50 are willing to negotiate or have some sort of flexibility. Under than that, or things that are marked firm, you're not going to be able to haggle at all. But Sleepy Poet is a fun place to get new ideas about how you might use tabletop decor and vintage pieces and mix in and out. So if you're looking for like 20th century Americana, if you collect Desert Rose by Franciscan, if you collect milk glass, those kinds of things, you'll be able to find it at Sleepy Poet. It's a great resource. It's rated like the best antique store in the Charlotte area pretty consistently. Now shifting to consignments, one of the fun places that I like to shop is Consignments on Park, and it's down at the very southern end of Charlotte on Park Road. It's on the border with Pineville, and it's in the same shopping center, it's hard to say, in the same shopping center as Black Lion. So if you're familiar with Black Lion in South Charlotte on Highway 51 and the Park Road intersection, then you'll know where Consignments on Park is. Consignments on Park also has a variety of consignment items from traditional to transitional, contemporary decor. But I've lucked out there and I found a silver plate water pitcher. I found a variety of other small collectible items there on consignment. And of course, like most consignment shops, as the item ages, it's been in the consignment shop for a while, they'll come down on price. However, their tickets there at Consignment on Park it doesn't note when the consignments go on sale, and so you'll just need to ask to see what the best price they can do. And also continuing with that consignment theme is another spot for small items, dishware, glassware, those kinds of things, and that's called the Clearinghouse on Central Avenue. And so remember, all the details about their hours of operation and their exact location are in the helpful guide that I've put in the description box below. So click on down if you want more information. But the Clearinghouse is an old house on Central Avenue. There's parking around the back in a gravel lot, so you can park on the street or you can park around back. There's several spaces there. But they have a lot of glassware, china, silverware, and those kinds of collectibles, lots of small items. And so if you have a collection that you want to consign, the Clearinghouse is a great place to consign those items too. I have friends that have consigned things there. But it is a great spot for those of you who are collecting tabletop decor. You can mix and match some things. If you're looking for hobnail glass, if you're looking for sort of crystal to mix and match, the Clearinghouse is a great spot. So finally, I would be remiss if I didn't share with you all one of my favorite places on the planet, if not just in Charlotte, but on the planet, and that's Miss Howard. So Miss Howard is a retail shop and sort of a gallery or display space for Phoebe Howard, who is a very well-known interior designer and decorator. She and her husband, who is an architect, have several stores that showcase both their work. And Miss Howard is a shop in Charlotte that features Phoebe's work and also the collections you can get from her, but they mix in highbrow antique furniture. And so I'll put a picture, just one here, but go to their website, click down, and so you can link to it. It's phenomenal. It'll leave you really inspired. Now, one of the best things is the building that they're in is the former Charlotte Women's Club, and it was a building that was designed by a pretty well-renowned architect, and it features this really amazing staircase. The rooms have huge, almost like two-story ceilings with phenomenal proportions, and Phoebe Howard has done a phenomenal job decorating those spaces, and it just like, when I die, I hope I go to Miss Howard. I mean, really, it's just a beautiful, phenomenal space. And it shows you how you can mix and match both new upholstered items, new rugs with traditional furniture and antiques. And so be sure to go and check out Miss Howard and get inspired. It's open Monday through Friday during regular business hours, so it's hard to get to if you work a regular job on the weekends, but it's worth sort of skipping out and taking a long lunch to go over and be inspired. So friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this quick tour of some of the very best antique and consignment shops. Now, I know your favorites haven't been mentioned, so leave it in the comments below, but be sure to click on over to that comprehensive review so that you'll be in the know. And I've listed a ton. I mean, Piccolo in Belmont, the Depot at Gibson Mill, Sleepy Poet in Gastonia. There are lots that I've listed in that blog post, so go over, check it out. And I almost forgot, if you like free candle stuff, So I give giveaways. You have to subscribe to our newsletter, and when the blog and the YouTube channel hit a variety of milestones, I do giveaways. You have to be subscribed to the newsletter so I can send you an email and say, hey, you've won. So sign up for the newsletter. It's in the description box below, and we'll see you next time.